Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on the K20 1985 Chevrolet and we're going full tutorial. We're going to jump in and we're going to see exactly where all the fusible links are in this truck. I couldn't really find anything on the internet and it took me about 2 hours to diagnose this truck. A couple weeks back I figured it was worth doing a video. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like this is, knowledgeable stuff that helps you out, so I know to do more of them. And then after we go over all the fusible links, we're going to jump into headlight upgrades. So these are aftermarket high amperage halogens, and you can't run them off the factory headlight switch. You got to run an aftermarket relay, so I'm also going to go over that really quick. But I figured why not make a quick video of it, see where it goes, and then shoot from there. So let's jump in here and we'll go over where all the fusible link locations are. Jump on the headlights. Alright, so first let's go over exactly what a fusible link is. I'm just playing, guys. So real quick and easy, this bus bar right here is your power coming from your starter solenoid up here. Quick way to figure it out, this wire here was my issue. If you grab it and it stretches like 1/4 to 1/2 inch, just completely pull it apart, strip it, and reconnect it. That's where your issue is going to be. So to go over it quick, it comes from your battery and jumps down to your starter solenoid. You got 2 down there. I'm not going to show down there just because it's tight and everything. And then it comes up. 1 ties into your alternator, and then 1 comes up to the back of this bus bar. And then after it hits this bus bar, you've got a little fuse here that runs over to your AC if you've got an AC truck. And if not, then you have your wire coming from the right hand side terminal, which came from your starter, to your interior power. A lot of people think these black cylindrical doohickeys here are your fusible link. It's not. It's the actual wire. So you'll be able to tell super easy by just pulling that wire. And if it's like jelly, just pull it apart, strip the wire back, and solder it. Do whatever you gotta do to reconnect it, and you'll have power again. Another quick and easy way to identify where it is, the busted fusible link, is just hit it with the test light. So here we got power here. If you don't have power at this bus bar, then your issue is going to be down at your starter, because that's what's in between your battery and here. Now if you've got power here but no power on the inside, you can take a razor blade and strip back this wire just a hair and poke into the wires. And if you have no power there, then you know your fusible link issue is here. But 10 out of 10 times you're able to pull that apart and it'll be like jelly. Alright, and that about does it. There's no fusible links inside. Everything's hardwired, and every switch has an internal fuse relay type deal. So all your fusible links are here under the hood, and that's where they're going to be. And for those of you guys who don't have a test light and don't know how to properly use it, super simple. You take the alligator clip end and you put it on the negative side of your battery or any ground on the vehicle, and then any power you touch completes the circuit from ground to power, and it lights up this light. Super easy way to like dummy test stuff. These are like $8. You can splurge for like the $40 power probe, where it's got like the momentary toggle where you can send power through stuff. But like 95% of the stuff I work on, I can figure it out solely based off this test light. After using it for a little bit, you'll get really good about, seeing where everything's at, and it helps you figure stuff out quicker. But just wanted to put that as a side note. Get yourself an $8 test light. It makes life a whole lot easier. Alright, let's jump inside. We'll go over the headlight upgrade, switch, and relay, and then that'll be it. Super quick and easy. Let's go. Alright, excuse the mess. I'm still finishing this truck up just a little bit. But we got our headlight switch here, and we got power coming into it, red wire. And then when you pull the headlights out, it sends power to the yellow wire to the high beam, low beam dimmer switch that's on your steering column. So you want to drop this panel, I found, and then it's easier just to drop the column as well. Drop that down because it's on the left hand side of the column at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and there's a 10 millimeter and a screw, Phillips head screw. You got to pull that off. 9 times out of 10, if you have no headlights, that's your issue, that dimmer switch. but I went ahead and replaced both just for due diligence. So remember that you got your red wire coming in, your yellow wire sends power to your headlights, and then a half pole sends power to your runner lights. And a quick side note, this panel comes off, just a bunch of Phillips head screws, and then you've got like a little retainer down here on the back side of this dash that holds your headlight switch in from behind. So if you need to drop it, you need to pull this piece out, take that retainer washer off, and you'll actually have to pull this knob completely out. On the back of your headlight switch, there's a little push button, and sometimes you got to jimmy it pretty good. But once this is pulled out, then you can grab your headlight switch from up under and behind, pull it down, and test probe it all. Make sure you're getting power into your switch, and then put this back in it while it's out. Pull it all the way out and see if it's sending power to that yellow wire, which sends it here. If you're not doing that, you need a new headlight switch. If you are sending power to your dimmer switch, but you have no headlights, it's your dimmer switch that's the issue. So let's jump under the hood. I'll show you the relay setup so I can run those high amperage halogens. Okay guys, so to run these aftermarket halogens, you can go to any auto parts store. This is a universal 4-prong relay. That's all you need. So to briefly go into how this works, you've got a 12 volt coming directly from your battery, which I ran off the bus bar that I talked about earlier that powers your interior systems, and ran it along this wire harness here. I believe this is a 10 gauge wire. So I ran that directly to the relay here. Your other prong has to be grounded, so that's 2 out of the 4. Your third one is your signal. So it sends 12 volts here off a switch that then connects your main 12 volt feed from your battery and then sends it to your fourth prong, which is your headlights. So in my case, the signal switch wire is the main wire running from the headlight switch to my headlights. I cut that in half. So this eliminates the high voltage running through your headlight switch itself and just uses your headlight switch as an actual switch instead of, you know, allowing all that current to pass through it and then blowing the internal fuse in the headlight switch. So when I pull my headlights out, it sends that 12 volt signal to this relay. It's just the signal. And then I've got the heavier gauge wire that runs directly from the battery to the solenoid, which then is transferred to my headlight wires, if that makes sense. And that allows you to run your halogen bulbs and not have any issues with any wire overheats, melting, you know, your switch fuse blown and everything like that. But that's it. Very plain and simple. I think it was like $12.99. Any auto parts store has them. And then you can just get like a universal electric connector kit at Harbor Freight for like $8, and then a bunch of heat shrink just to protect it. That's like another $4 or $5. And it looks professional, man. All done up right, zip tied up with the harness here. All right, ladies and gents, that about does it for us today. Whew. Just take a minute and appreciate how easily that door shuts. Golly. Again, I appreciate y'all watching. Like and subscribe. I'm trying to get out of my 9-to-5 work week, and I'd appreciate it if y'all would give me your feedback on these videos, if anything helps or not. But again, appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.